The boy kindly asked a passerby if he needed help, but didn't expect the man to turn violent and beat him. The boy remembered being bullied in high school and angrily picked up a hammer from the ground. The man struggled to get up, but soon collapsed unconscious. Realizing his irreversible mistake, Li Tang panicked. Nearby, a woman in yellow passed by with a guide dog, as if nothing had happened. However, the dog was drawn to the smell of blood. Li Tang held his breath, afraid to make a sound. After the woman left, he quickly fled the scene. Back home, Li Tang tried to wash away his guilt with water. The dead man suddenly appeared, demanding, "How can you live with yourself?" Li Tang woke up from the nightmare. He stared at the dark ceiling, then sat up quickly. He realized he had left the crucial hammer at the crime scene. Surprisingly, the police didn't find the weapon the next day, and there were also no cameras in the alley. Detective Zhang visited a nearby convenience store to ask who worked the night shift. Just then, Li Tang, who was replacing the morning shift, appeared. Detective Zhang took him outside and asked if he had heard anything the night before. Li Tang recalled what happened. Kim Myong-jin and Li Guanghun sat outside for a long time after shopping and carelessly threw their trash. After cleaning up, Li Tang borrowed a hammer from the manager and went home. He saw Li Guanghun lying in the alley and thought he was drunk and sleeping. So he quickly ran after Kim Myong-jin and kindly told him to check on his friend, but Kim beat him badly. Suddenly, Li Tang remembered the store camera caught him borrowing the hammer. As he thought about how to explain, Detective Zhang's colleague brought good news. A passerby had witnessed the two victims arguing while drunk. The forensic report showed only the victims' fingerprints at the scene, leading the police to believe they killed each other. Li Tang sighed in relief. Even luckier, a fly had blocked the camera, covering the hammer in Li Tang's hand. The police soon found out why the two men fought. According to Li Guanghun's wife, the two men met at a construction site and often drank together. Over time, she and Kim Myong-jin developed feelings for each other. But secrets couldn't be kept forever, and it ended in tragedy. Though the motive was clear, Detective Zhang had doubts. He noticed there was no blood on the brick used as the weapon, and when he looked into Kim Myong-jin's background, he found nothing. As Detective Zhang suspected, Kim Myong-jin was actually a serial killer on the run. Li Tang didn't know the truth yet. He spent 3 fearful days. He only felt relieved when he saw on the news that Kim Myong-jin was the wanted criminal. Meanwhile, in a villa, the woman in the yellow dress was playing with her dog. On the second floor, the hammer used to kill Kim Myong-jin was on the table. The next day, Li Tang went to work at a convenience store. The "have a good day" on the doorbell made him feel life was beautiful. But this happiness was soon ruined by an unexpected visitor, the woman in yellow with sunglasses. She demanded 2 million won from Li Tang. Li Tang was shocked and asked what she meant. She took off her glasses and said she wasn't blind. Then she asked Li Tang how it felt to kill someone. Li Tang completely broke down. The "have a good day" felt like a curse. Li Tang checked his account but had less than 200,000 won. To avoid jail, he desperately tried to raise money. Li Tang tried to return a newly bought phone, but the owner refused for many reasons. He then asked the store manager to advance him 3 months of pay, but still couldn't gather the 2 million won. Desperate, Li Tang stole his mother's savings book and withdrew all the money from the bank. Finally, he had 2 million won. He went to the woman's house, as agreed. While she made coffee, she introduced herself as Yeo-ok. Li Tang ignored her and laid the money neatly on the table. Yeo-ok nodded in satisfaction and then demanded 2 million won from him every month. Li Tang asked why she changed her mind, but saw her pull out his missing hammer. That night, Li Tang left it at the crime scene, and Yeo-ok's dog took it home. Li Tang grabbed the hammer and left quickly. Yeo-ok calmly listed his university, address, and family members. She then threatened Li Tang, saying it was useless to take the hammer because his DNA was everywhere in her house. If she testified, he would be the suspect. Even if it was manslaughter, he'd still get at least 15 years. After finishing, Yeo-ok smiled evilly. Li Tang pretended to give in, but when she relaxed, he struck her fatally. Afterward, Li Tang quickly took the money and hammer and fled. A few days later, the milk delivery man noticed something strange. He jumped over the wall and saw something shocking. The police quickly sealed off the area. The dog was running around in the yard. In the days since Yeo-ok's death, the dog had dug a large hole. The police found 2 decayed bodies in the hole. To their shock, the bodies were Yeo-ok's parents. Li Tang lay in his room for 3 days and kept seeing dead Yeo-ok. He was curious why no one had come to arrest him yet. At the crime scene, the police found no other fingerprints or DNA. There was dog saliva on the coffee cup, coffee table, and even the front door. The dog had spent 3 days cleaning up all the evidence. With no evidence, the team leader suspected the dog had hurt its owner and ordered it to be put down. On the way to the hospital, the dog suddenly barked wildly at a karaoke bar. The cop thought it was just losing its temper, unaware that the killer, Li Tang, was upstairs drinking. Not far away, 2 drunk punks were looking for trouble. Recently, they had been punished at the police station for smoking as minors and were bitter about it. So they attacked the cop in a quiet place. After leaving the karaoke bar, Li Tang saw the news about Yeo-ok and learned she was also a killer. He was shocked to realize a pattern. The people he killed deserved to die. The 2 punks were in an alley discussing how to cover up the mess when they noticed Li Tang approaching. Li Tang sharply noticed the blood on their clothes. In that moment, the faces of Kim Myung-jin and Yeo-ok flashed in his mind. The next morning, the 2 punks were found lifeless in the alley. Li Tang woke up groggily at home, surprised to find his face covered in blood. He vaguely remembered being taken home the previous night. A brick, a cigarette butt, and a note suddenly appeared in the house. The note had a mysterious contact number. Detective Jang visited Yeo-ok's cousin and learned that Yeo-ok was a devil who didn't deserve forgiveness. While in school, Yeo-ok got involved with a bad crowd and was disfigured in a drug-fueled gathering. Afterward, she became even more unhinged. She first bought 8 life insurance policies for her parents, then carefully planned an accident. The cousin removed her hat, revealing scars on her face caused by Yeo-ok splashing boiling water on her. She would never forget the sight of Yeo-ok smiling, admiring her handiwork. After bidding the cousin farewell, Detective Jang headed to the next crime scene. At the funeral, one of the teenager's mothers was hysterical, asking when the police would catch the killer. Detective Jang impatiently warned her not to obstruct justice. His colleague thought he was being too harsh on the victim's family. Detective Jang explained that victims could also be victimizers. Years ago, a high school girl was assaulted by 2 boys. Unable to bear the shame, she chose to end her life. One of the boys' mothers caused a scene at the funeral, claiming the girl had seduced her son. This mother was the same woman who slapped Detective Jang earlier. The 2 boys who bullied the girl were the same 2 punks killed last night. Over the years, the boys never regretted their actions, only picking up more bad habits. Even Detective Jang felt like there might really be karma in the world. Li Tang contacted the mysterious person from the note, but was shocked when the person immediately called his name. Terrified, Li Tang quickly closed the app. Just then, a letter arrived from the postman. It was a court subpoena. Not long ago, Li Tang had advanced 3 months of salary but never returned to work. The convenience store owner had filed a fraud charge against him. Detective Jang also saw the subpoena. While investigating the recent murders, he found that Li Tang was present at every crime scene, making him suspicious. At the same time, the cop visited the father of the high school girl to learn more about the past assault. Unexpectedly, Mr. Kang, the father, openly admitted to killing the 2 punks. After much thought, Li Tang decided to turn himself in. He packed the murder weapon into a bag and called the police. The police thought he was calling because of the subpoena and told him to come in for questioning at 9 p.m. At the police station, Mr. Kang explained how he killed the 2 boys. But Detective Jang believed he was taking the fall for someone else. One of the victims had burn marks from a cigarette on his face, but Mr. Kang claimed he had quit smoking long ago. The fatal wound was on the right side of the victim's brain, but Mr. Kang was left-handed. Due to lack of evidence, Mr. Kang was released. As he left the station, he was hit by a car. The driver was the mother of one of the punks. Fortunately, Mr. Kang wasn't seriously injured. Detective Jiang asked him if he knew the killer, but Mr. Kang stuck to his story, insisting he killed them. Later that night, Li Tang transferred the money to his mother and the convenience store owner's accounts. As he stepped out, 2 thieves stole his bag. However, the bag had no money inside, so the thieves angrily threw it into the river. All the weapons used in the crimes sank to the bottom. In the hospital, Mr. Kang recalled the night of the crime. He had received a mysterious text message from someone who told him to take revenge and that he would handle the rest. With newfound courage, Mr. Kang followed the 2 punks into an alley, only to find that someone else had already punished them. That person was Li Tang. Li Tang was sent to the hospital with an injured arm. Mr. Kang happened to run into him and followed him in a wheelchair, but accidentally fell to the ground. Li Tang stuck his head out and asked if he needed help. Mr. Kang first thanked Li Tang, then warned him that there were police in the hospital and urged him to escape. After Li Tang left, Mr. Kang thought of his beloved daughter. Now that his revenge was complete, he decided to join his daughter in the other world. Detective Jiang saw Li Tang running away in a panic from a distance and immediately chased after him. However, the hospital suddenly called to inform Mr. Kang's condition had worsened, so he had to give up the pursuit. Since Li Tang had been missing for a while, his sister went to the convenience store where he worked part-time, but was told he hadn't been there for several days. She paid off Li Tang's debts, and the boss withdrew the lawsuit. 4 months passed quickly. One night, a prosecutor got drunk. He called a driver and fell asleep in the car. By the next morning, he was found floating in the river. Meanwhile, the police set up a special investigation unit for 3 murder cases, but they made no progress and wasted time. After the unit was disbanded, Detective Jiang took over all the investigation. To solve the case quickly, he turned to a hacker for help. Ro Bin was obsessed with murder cases and had once been arrested by Detective Jiang for hacking into the police department's servers. After reading the reports on the 4 murders, he didn't think it was a serial killing case. The first 3 cases seemed like impulsive and accidental crimes, and the killer used a blunt object. But in the prosecutor's case, the killer used a knife and precisely stabbed the heart. If the same person committed all the murders, it meant the killer was evolving. Robin was curious as to why the killer targeted unrepentant criminals. Detective Jiang noticed he knew many details about the case and brought him in for questioning. However, Robin insisted that he had just read about the cases online. Detective Jiang had no choice but to send Robin home, while secretly keeping an eye on him. The next day, while Robin was cleaning his house, the doorbell rang. It was Li Tang, who had been missing for 4 months. Robin warned him to be careful, as there was the detective with killer instincts. After hearing this, Li Tang hurriedly left, but bumped into a cop who stopped him for routine questioning. Detective Jiang, not far away, immediately recognized Li Tang and ordered his team to arrest him. He rushed upstairs, accusing Robin and Li Tang of being accomplices in the murders. A few years ago, the killer Detective Jiang was chasing escaped thanks to Robin's help. But when questioned, Robin played innocent and claimed he didn't know Li Tang. Detective Jiang lost control and took out all his anger on Robin. At that moment, the fleeing delivery man was caught, but he wasn't Li Tang. To make matters worse, the police station received a complaint about police brutality. It turned out that Robin started a live stream, broadcasting the entire incident of him being beaten. In the end, Detective Jiang was suspended for breaking into a home and using excessive force. Robin's connection to Li Tang began 4 months ago. After escaping from the hospital, Li Tang first returned to his apartment. He left a goodbye letter to avoid dragging his family into trouble, then disappeared. For the next week, he wandered across different cities. One day, he met Robin on the subway and learned he was the mysterious person. Since Robin showed no hostility, Li Tang slowly let his guard down. Robin said he had been looking for the killer ever since the first murder case. It wasn't until he helped Mr. Kang take revenge for his daughter that he unexpectedly found the person he was looking for was Li Tang. Later, Robin studied the 3 murder cases committed by Li Tang and found one thing in common. All the victims were human garbage, and the evidence always disappeared on its own. Robin believed this was either Li Tang's unique luck or a special gift to sense evil, so he invited Li Tang to be his partner, like Batman and Robin, to deliver justice and clean up human garbage. Late at night, Li Tang found a hidden room in Robin's house. Inside were piles of cash, case files, and all kinds of weapons. Li Tang picked one, put on Robin's jacket, and headed out. He wanted to see if he really had the gift to spot evil. In a crowded street, he bumped into a prosecutor. He then disguised himself as a driver and kidnapped the man to the riverside. The prosecutor begged for mercy and claimed he did nothing wrong. Then, Robin arrived. He unlocked the prosecutor's phone and found countless videos of innocent girls. At that moment, Li Tang realized that some higher power really did send him to protect the world. This time, he no longer felt guilty for what he had done. The next day, Li Tang found a job delivering food. To help him stay under the radar, Robin forged a new identity for him. In the following days, Robin provided information about criminals, and Li Tang took care of eliminating them. In just 4 months, they committed several murders, turning Seoul into a small Gotham. To further hide his identity, Li Tang moved to Busan and found a job at a supermarket. At the supermarket, there was a cashier named In Seon, who was very pretty, but she seemed to have a troubled past and was especially afraid of men staring at her. One day, In Seon was bullied by a difficult customer. Li Tang stepped in and taught the customer a lesson. That night, while on duty, In Seon approached Li Tang and started chatting. The two had a lot in common. They both avoided talking about their pasts and kept their distance from others. Li Tang didn't respond much, but he felt like he had seen In Seon somewhere before. It turned out In Seon had once dated a terrible boyfriend who leaked her private videos online. To escape her past, In Seon changed her identity and moved to Busan. Her mother wanted to persuade her to return home, but In Seon was focused on the man nearby. She rushed up to him, angrily demanding to know why he was staring at her. The man explained that he thought she was someone he knew. After confirming, he turned out to be In Seon's old classmate, Sang-min. Before leaving, Sang-min asked for her contact info, but she refused. Soon after, In Seon unexpectedly received a call from Sang-min. He claimed he was being sex-torted and wanted to talk to someone. Out of sympathy, In Seon agreed to meet him. Sang-min poured his heart out, saying that he had lost his job and even his girlfriend because of a scam. Perhaps because she had been through something similar, In Seon kindly took him in. Late that night, both drunk, they shared their feelings and ended up sleeping together. However, In Seon didn't know that she had been deceived once again. That day, Sang-min had found her phone number in the trash downstairs and fabricated the story about being extorted. He hadn't broken up with his girlfriend and was even about to marry her. After dropping his girlfriend off, Sang-min hurried to Busan to see In Seon. As he passed by, Li Tang sensed that something bad was about to happen. Before bed, Sang-min deliberately placed his phone face down on the table. In Seon noticed he seemed to be hiding something. So, she got up to grab the phone and found his wedding invitation on it. Sang-min snatched the phone back but got slapped hard in the face. Furious, he accused her of seducing him first. In Seon broke down, threatening to expose his ugly side to his girlfriend and colleagues. Sang-min lost control and tightly grabbed her neck. In Seon never imagined that the fleeting happiness she experienced would cost her life. Afterwards, Sang-min staged the crime scene to look like an accidental fire. The next day, he went to the hospital for a checkup and discovered he had contracted gonorrhea. Sang-min initially thought In Seon had given it to him, but to his shock, his girlfriend admitted to cheating and contracting the disease herself. It seemed karma was indeed real. From supermarket colleagues, Li Tang learned that In Seon had been murdered. As he pondered this, a strange man watched him from a distance. Li Tang sensed danger and tried to escape, but then he saw Detective Jang at the entrance. Panicking, he ran to the warehouse, only to be tripped by the man. The man criticized his previous cases as sloppy and invited him to talk somewhere else. Just then, a noise sounded, and Li Tang rushed out of the warehouse. By the time Detective Jang arrived, both men had disappeared. Since being suspended, Detective Zhang continued to track Li Tang's movements. Recently, his colleague informed him that Li Tang had escaped to Busan, and then multiple murders had occurred there. Detective Zhang increasingly suspected that Li Tang was the real killer. While police questioned the supermarket employees, the manager immediately recognized Li Tang from a photo and gave them his address. Detective Zhang drove there right away. Meanwhile, the mysterious man went to a convenience store. He overheard residents discussing an argument between In Xian and someone on the night of the murder. The man then went to find Sang Min, showed him a detective's badge, and introduced himself as Song Chan. Sang Min was nervous, but invited him inside. Song Chan wasted no time and asked about In Xian's case. Sang Min admitted to deceiving In Xian, but denied killing her. Song Chan laughed and pulled out tape and rope from his bag. Sang Min, frightened, threatened to call a lawyer. Song Chan ignored his plea and tied him up. After some friendly persuasion, Sang Min confessed to the murder and wrote down his crimes. But Song Chan wasn't planning to let him go. He cleaned the crime scene, then used an induction cooker to make a bomb. Just as he stepped outside, the police arrived, but were caught in the explosion. Detective Zhang arrived at Li Tang's house but found no trace of him. Just now, Li Tang had a bad feeling when he saw a boy in the elevator and immediately left. The boy got upset that Li Tang ignored him, so he stole the key from the security room and sprayed Li Tang's home with a fire extinguisher. Li Tang wandered aimlessly through the streets. The world outside the supermarket was just as bad, with perverts groping women on the subway. He hid in an internet cafe, deciding to escape from this world, at least for now. Song Chan returned to Seoul and skillfully broke into Robin's room. It turned out they were old acquaintances. Long before Li Tang, Song Chan was Robin's partner, fighting for justice together. In Song Chan's eyes, the world was filled with inhumane pests. For this reason, he killed without remorse. Over time, Robin realized that Song Chan was a complete psychopath. Killing wasn't for justice, but merely a form of entertainment for him. This led to a falling out, and they eventually went separate ways. Now, Song Chan asked Robin to arrange a meeting between him and Li Tang. He wanted to see what made this man, who had replaced him as the hero, so special. Before leaving, Song Chan took a book from a safe. Robin tried to stop him because the book held Li Tang's secret, but he failed. As Song Chan stepped outside, he bumped into a cop. The cop had passed by Song Chan just before the explosion and recognized him as the person Detective Zhang had been hunting. However, Song Chan, ruthless as ever, threw the cop down the stairs, leaving him paralyzed for life. To avoid being implicated, Robin voluntarily went to the police station to cooperate with the investigation. He also hoped that this madman, Song Chan, would be caught quickly. Detective Zhang didn't trust Robin. When he was pursuing Song Chan in the past, it was because of Robin's interference that he failed. He warned Robin not to get involved in this matter. Meanwhile, Song Chan was hunting new prey. Two rich kids not only broke traffic rules, but also disrespected their elders. Song Chan kidnapped them and dealt with the boy immediately. The girl begged for mercy on her knees. Song Chan ordered her to write down all the crimes she had committed, like not taking classes seriously. In his eyes, these were capital offenses. Once she finished writing, he ruthlessly killed her. However, the rich girl turned out to be the granddaughter of a famous corporate chairman. A special promotion was waiting for whoever solved the case. So, the higher-up reinstated Detective Zhang's position and demanded the capture of the killer. Detective Zhang immediately agreed, determined to avenge his injured colleague. To eliminate Song Chan, Robin went alone to the corporation and handed over all the information on Song Chan. At that moment, Li Tang suddenly called. In the days he had been hiding, he had been tormented by hallucinations of Song Chan. He asked Robin to arrange a meeting with Song Chan. That night, following Song Chan's instructions, Li Tang arrived at an abandoned dance hall. Song Chan wanted to recruit Li Tang as his partner. As they were talking, Robin, guided by a tracking device, arrived at the dance hall with the corporation's thugs. Li Tang declined Song Chan's offer, saying he already had a partner. Song Chan warned him not to trust Robin too much. If he made a single mistake, Robin would abandon him right away. Li Tang always remained silent, then tried to attack Song Chan. He despised and even feared this madman. However, Song Chan remained alert and easily subdued Li Tang. Just as he was about to kill him, the group of thugs arrived. Li Tang seized the opportunity to escape, but outside, he found Robin bound. He tore off all the tape and demanded to know why Robin kept his book. Robin explained that everything was going according to his plan and hoped Li Tang would trust him again. But Li Tang suddenly burst into tears. He couldn't bear the constant chase from the police and madmen anymore. Suddenly, a gunshot rang out. Song Chan had opened fire. He single-handedly took down 10 or so thugs. By the time the police arrived, Song Chan had already escaped. The next day, the police began reviewing the surveillance footage around the dance hall and located Song Chan's last known position. But Song Chan had already sensed the danger and left. All that was left in the room was a thick stack of written confessions, a document Song Chan made his victims write before killing them. Detective Zhang speculated that Song Chan's next target would be the chairman. Meanwhile, Song Chan tracked down the chairman's secretary. After a friendly conversation, he learned the chairman's whereabouts. The chairman was mourning the death of his granddaughter with a girl of her age. Song Chan had thoroughly investigated the chairman's secrets. From back alley thugs to government officials, the chairman had connections everywhere. He even had people to take care of him while in prison. What was worse, tons of people died because of the building he demolished. To Song Chan, such human garbage deserved to be erased. At this moment, Detective Zhang arrived at the scene, gun in hand, ordering Song Chan to stop. Song Chan, however, used the life of the chairman as leverage. Suddenly, he recognized the cop in front of him. Years ago, Song Chan worked with Detective Zhang's father. Detective Zhang found out Song Chan had an affair with his mother and had beaten his father, leaving him in a vegetative state. Now, Song Chan continued to provoke Detective Zhang and willingly submitted to arrest. Initially, the police believed the case was over. However, while being transported, Song Chan managed to deceive the cops into unlocking his handcuffs, taking down everyone in the vehicle with his bare hands. Ultimately, only he crawled out of the police car and vanished into the darkness. Meanwhile, Robin bought a second-hand car, planning to take Li Tang to a place where no one could find them. That night, the two of them lay in the car, each lost in their own thoughts. Robin softly spoke of his past. One morning, he woke up to find his parents lying in a pool of blood. The police claimed that robbers had broken in and killed his parents. Robin had longed for revenge but had felt powerless. It wasn't until he met Song Chan that he decided to seek justice by leveraging someone else's strength. Li Tang turned around and said nothing. The next day, while having breakfast, the two saw a wanted notice for Song Chan on the television. Before they could react, they saw their own faces on the screen. The police had listed them as part of a criminal organization. Li Tang felt helpless and realized that he couldn't do anything right. Robin comforted him and planned to escape to a warmer country together. To ensure safety, Robin reached out to a familiar doctor and hid in his clinic. Soon, the intermediary arranged for their smuggling route. As they were on their way to the port, Robin received a call from Song Chan. After escaping, Song Chan intentionally threw his phone into someone else's car, confusing the police's tracking. He then attacked the clinic and learned from the doctor the whereabouts of Robin. In order to protect Li Tang, Robin lied, claiming they would take separate cars to the dock. Li Tang, no longer trusting Robin as he once had, secretly planted a tracking device on his phone. Soon, Li Tang arrived at the dock safely, but Robin never showed up. Robin did not head to the dock. Instead, he returned to Seoul and found Detective Zhang. He claimed to know Song Chan's whereabouts and urged the police to act quickly. Meanwhile, Song Chan came to the hospital with flowers to visit Detective Zhang's father. Detective Zhang didn't trust Robin at all and advised him to surrender to lessen his punishment. Just then, his phone rang. It was the doctor, informing Detective Zhang that his father's oxygen mask had been removed and that he had passed away. Furious, Detective Jang stormed out of the hospital. He planned to use Robin to find Song Chon and avenge his father. Li Tang found a farewell letter from Robin in his bag, realizing that Robin intended to take responsibility for all the crimes. After a brief hesitation, Li Tang stole a motorcycle and went to the place where they had parted ways. He checked his phone and saw that Robin had already returned to Seoul. On the way, Robin begged Detective Jang to spare Li Tang and promised to help him catch Song Chon. He showed videos of the prosecutor bullying innocent girls, proving that everyone Li Tang killed deserved it. Detective Jang accused him of not having the right to decide who deserved to die. Robin countered, asking what the weak should do when the law protects the powerful. Detective Jang thought for a long time, but couldn't provide an answer. Robin said that after this case was over, he would willingly accept any punishment. Detective Jang was persuaded and agreed to his plan. Robin met Song Chon at an abandoned factory. Song Chon threatened to kill Robin first and then deal with Li Tang. Just then, Detective Jang appeared and pointed a gun at Song Chon. Robin didn't expect Li Tang, who was supposed to escape, to show up there too. Song Chon, thrilled by the confrontation, fired the first shot. Li Tang seized the opportunity to attack, with Robin quickly helping him. Unfortunately, during the struggle, Robin was shot and fell to the ground. Li Tang broke down, demanding to know why Song Chon was interfering with his life. Song Chon explained he was jealous of Li Tang's ability to sense evil and tried to prove that Li Tang wasn't special, but he believed that the world needed people like him and Li Tang to clean up human trash. Detective Jang warned him not to defend himself anymore, but Song Chon ignored him and continued speaking about his past. Years ago, Detective Jang's father was also a cop. Song Chon had been his subordinate, but unlike regular police officers, Song Chon was the son of a murderer. So he worked harder than anyone else, training his body and learning criminal investigation techniques, but he still couldn't gain Mr. Jang's approval. One day, a cafeteria worker was preparing to return to Yanbian. All the cops chipped in to help her, but Mr. Jang only contributed a box of herbal medicine. Not long after, the woman was arrested on charges of cross-border drug trafficking, and the evidence was the very box of herbal medicine. It turned out that Mr. Jang had been smuggling drugs for over 5 years. He took advantage of that clueless woman and used her as a drug mule. At that moment, Song Chon's beliefs shattered. He decided to uphold justice in his own way. To this day, Song Chon still believed he had done nothing wrong. He even mentioned that Detective Jang's mother had actually had an affair with another cop, who was now Detective Jang's superior. After revealing this, Song Chon laughed more maniacally. Li Tang stepped forward, intending to finish him. Just then, Song Chon attempted a sneak attack, but was shot back by Detective Jang. After everything was over, Li Tang was ready to face his punishment. Perhaps fate had intervened, as the gun didn't have any bullets. Detective Jang, too, chose to follow destiny and let Li Tang go. After he left, a fire broke out at the factory. Li Tang tried to pull Robin out, but the falling planks hit Robin. With no other choice, Li Tang left in tears. The book that recorded his crimes was completely destroyed. The Special Investigation Unit took over the case. They discovered that Song Chon had killed 30 people over the last 5 years, and they considered Robin to be Song Chon's accomplice. None of the cases were connected to Li Tang. Everything had been part of Robin's plan. To protect Li Tang, Robin deliberately left behind the secret room in his house and planted his fingerprints on the weapons. He also picked up the peach Li Tang had left at the crime scene and had a dentist arrange his teeth to match the bite marks on the peach. A female cop asked Detective Jang if the case still involved Li Tang. After a brief hesitation, Detective Jang chose to keep the secret. Soon after, the prosecution dropped the charges against Li Tang due to a lack of evidence. Following Robin's last wish, Li Tang went to the warm Philippines. One day he was arrested for staying illegally. The cop was curious why he, with no criminal record, had gone to all the trouble of stowing away. Hearing the good news, Li Tang immediately returned to South Korea. Shortly after, another murder occurred in Korea. The victim was a notorious kidnapper. Only Detective Jang knew that the dark hero who fought for justice came back.